You're watching Guude. You're watching Guude. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my text or not.
I did see your text saying you were going to be... Oh, yeah, the police! What were the police in your house for?
I was curious. I was waiting for you to ask.
Yeah, I thought when you first said that,
did.
I was like, what the fuck? I figured we'd have to talk about it, but then I forgot because we started up with Survivor.
So the police officer shows up to the door, relatively panicked, not like panicked, but like out of breath. And he's just asking, how well do your cameras work? Look at something in the last 15 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. So they're actively pursuing suspects of something. And coincidentally, my cameras caught exactly what they wanted to catch. I guess somebody got, which is a shame in my fucking neighborhood, right in front of our house, like the church, right, couple doors down. Somebody got held up and robbed by some teenage punk kids, a group of them.
Wow.
And right down the street. So I showed him the footage, and one guy came, looked at it, and taped it real quick on his phone just to have an idea, and went cruising off again. It was a detective might be here in a little bit, but we're gonna go see what we can find, and went basically rushing out the door to see if they could, I guess, find these people. And I guess they did find people that matched the description. So then more people came over later and wanted to look at the footage really thoroughly to make sure clothes look like they match, because of course you can't see the person's face on our cameras when they're just walking down the street or running down the street or whatever. But what I thought was funny is I was talking to this detective while he was going through all this stuff, and unfortunately I felt my baby's crying, or we're trying to put the other kid to bed, and I'm trying to show him this stuff while the baby in my hand is crying, and I'm sure he felt terrible, and I was just here's how to control the system. Hit these buttons, hit this button, you can zoom in and out like this. Look for whatever you need to look for to take care of this baby. So he was like, oh, I'm so grateful that you're letting me do this. I'm like, for one, I want my neighborhood to be safe, but I want you to find everything and fine, but I still need to deal with baby. So I'm talking to him afterwards just about randomly as he's looking through footage and comparing it, and we're just talking about the crimes in the area and how much package theft there is and all that stuff. And I said something I was curious, if people steal stuff, but I don't want to necessarily
file a police report,
but I want to get the videos on file so that if this person is a serial package thief or whatever, and you do catch him. Well, because the guy that I caught in the alley, when I went to the courtroom, there's 3 different people there because they had all had video footage of him with it. So I was like, how do I get this to you without going through the hassle?
You mean his cousin, right? Not him.
Yeah, his cousin. Sorry, his cousin. Without getting you go through the hassle of calling 911, because of course in DC it tells you straight up for a non-emergency to call 911.
Really?
And then when you call 911, there's no non-emergency. Wow. And when you call 911, the first thing that they do is they answer the phone and they say, "What is your emergency?" And I'm always like, seems so wrong. You're making me feel bad for calling you, even though the website says for non-emergency police reports, you still call 911 to get through
that's really wild.
The department. So I was instead of going through that and wasting officers' time, because they usually send out an officer and then they'll send out a detective, is there any way I can just send footage to somebody to keep on file for if they ever see this person again? They have other things that they can link them up to as well, and that's just not a first time, and you can keep it somewhere.
I'm in bed.
And okay, let me head over there now. 2 things I found out is, for one, he said technically you can email to me and I'll gladly take it. Problem is, if there's not a police report actually associated with, you're in that bed.
Oh yeah, there's another one right below us there. I'll go down to that one.
Right below us?
On the ground down below. I just threw it down there a minute ago.
Oh, okay. If it's not linked to a police report, you can't really use it for anything. So you really have to do a police report anyway, so that they connect it in some way. But I was,
slime. I got it in time. We got it in time. This
I was
time
gonna say,
kicking my ass.
It's daytime. Hold on, I'm coming to help.
He's just jumping on my damn head. I got it.
But I made a comment to him about how, and I was explaining to him why, and how the first guy that ever stole from us, I said, when we went to court, he actually got caught when we went to court, and there was multiple people there that had video of it. I was and I actually had caught him in the alley, and he stopped and he goes, "That was you?"
You're like known at the damn station. This
I was
crazy
like-
motherfucker went out to the alley, y'all.
I said, yeah, and he's like, dude, you are my hero. I was like, yeah, he's like, oh, dude, I saw the video. It was great. And I was like, oh, God.
Oh, God, did you see the
Please don't
YouTube
talk about the
video?
Like, yes, he saw the YouTube video.
Oh, my God. Did you tell him about all the drama?
I told him somewhat about the drama, and he was like, dude, fuck all those people. Like, he's like, nobody was offended by that for real. So, like, he did not think, luckily, that it was a racist.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination. But he kept telling me, he's like, I am so glad to finally meet you after 2 years. He's like, I never thought I would actually meet the person who made that video, even though I knew it was in my area.
Jesus Christ. That's wild.
I'm apparently a very, like, well-respected person in the police detectives of DC area.
Well, if you keep working with them,
Which is weird.
all this crime around your house, apparently. You need to get more cameras. You're just damn market for it.
I, you know, if they would, like, pay me based on how many people I've gotten, so just pay me in like up every time I give them footage, they upgrade my cameras like to from 720p to a 1080p system, like versus
I wonder if they ever
something like
seize
that.
stuff like that from some like drug dealer or whatever. Like hook you up with the seized camera stuff instead of sending it to police auction.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, the DC does actually have like a reimbursement for security systems, but we already claimed it for for our original camera set. But now I want to get like a better one because I want to get a 4K one. That would be awesome. But right now mine aren't even true 720p. It's like a cheap ass system. It looks good, but it's not. It could be way better. And I don't want to spend a shit ton of money on upgrading it myself when it's mainly for them. I've used the footage more for them asking me because they see the cameras for my footage versus for things that have happened to me.
Right.
I think I've only filed like 2 or 3 different police reports, and then I've made a couple of YouTube videos that keep getting demonetized because I'm a terrible person, But yeah,
It's
mainly
that
it's for
content.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just cancel my channel. You really could call my fictitious when I put out those those theft videos. They all look pretty much the same, especially some of them with the same person who keeps showing back up.
All right. I mean, I wonder where the guidelines for the whole repetition thing fall. Like, if you only is Ethos channel repetitious because he only puts out Minecraft videos?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, what is considered repetition, especially when you're playing the piano? Like, was he playing the same chords every single?
No, it was
time?
different songs, but they're all just piano videos. Guess we don't want that.
Sorry, repetitious content. All your content is videos.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the thing. How is this decided? Who at the YouTube offices just really fucking hated this piano guy? Like, what did he do to piss them off?
People are gonna look at this video and be like, another fucking video of them doing this farm repetitious content report. Like,
God, please don't. For all we fucking know, it'll work.
That's the sad thing is it's probably would work.
YouTube doesn't even look at that shit. I don't feel like it's just like Survivor videos.
I definitely think we have a better chance of getting on Survivor than getting our channel undeleted if they deleted it for repetitious content.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we'd be done. Yeah.
Basically, if my channel gets like shut down, I am buying a lotto ticket and applying to Survivor that same day because what better time than right then? The best odds I'm gonna have of anything happening is gonna be the Survivor one and the lottery.
Yep.
Damn, we are running so low on mending stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're almost done here.
Yeah, we're close. I really wish we had not broken those 2 picks like back to back, and I broke like 1 or 2 before that.
Jeez.
But we did that bad job of coincidentally like 2 episodes breaking them. But whatever.
Yeah. We're so close.
So yeah, I thought it was interesting that the detective knew my YouTube,
That is pretty crazy.
and
Whenever you said the police was there, I just assumed someone stole some more shit from you.
no,
At least your
not from
damn
us, it was
your
somebody else.
Dollar Shave Club stuff made it. I was like really worried about that.
Well, I told you I built a box, didn't I?
Yeah. Was it? Did they put it in
So
the
I built
box?
the porch box. That I don't remember if they put that in the box or if I was like home with. It's different now because I'm constantly home since I'm on paternity leave.
Right.
So often I see the drivers coming, and if I see them coming up toward my door, I'll just open the door and grab whatever package it is.
Right.
But the people have done an exceptionally good job of utilizing the box, which I was concerned that they were never going to see it and not know what it was for, not know how to use it because it's custom made, doesn't say anything on it. It's not 100% obvious that it's a hinged box, but there must be enough of them around that they're pretty good about using it, which is good. But yeah, I mean, I'd still worry because sometimes they get home and there's just a package propped up against the door, like, "Hi, come steal me."
So someone ordered MeUndies from me and they got stolen off their porch. And I feel so bad for them because they.
Are you sure they just didn't order them? They just told you they ordered them. Sorry, I can't prove it because they got stolen.
Well, I mean, I still get the money. That's the thing that really sucks. I still get the commission.
Oh. Well, will MeUndies replace them for him?
I told them they probably would. I told them, I was like, contact them. I bet they'll replace them for you. I was like, that's kind of bullshit.
Usually they'll start like an investigation, which is kind of hard. Like sometimes I feel it's easier when I get stuff stolen and I can like at Amazon, I'll be like, "Hey, this got stolen," and I have video footage. They'll be like, "Oh, we'll replace it or we'll refund your money." But sometimes you're like, "Hey, this thing never came and it was marked as delivered, but I have video footage that nothing ever showed up." That usually takes weeks to resolve. So because they're like, "We'll start an investigation with the shipping company now," and it's like, "What?" But
So can you? I mean, what does Amazon do if you don't have video footage? If you say my shit got stolen off my porch, do they just like?
Oh, I don't know. I've every time I've told them something got stolen, I'll tell them like just in the chat that I'm basically saying it so that they don't try to start an investigation with the shipping company because I know it got shipped or I know it was delivered. Is the only reason I say it. I've before had the problem where I could say, "You said this was delivered. It was never delivered." That's all I know is I don't have it, and I don't know if it was stolen. I don't know if it really wasn't delivered, or what. So then they usually have to start the whole investigation with the shipping company, and it'll take a while for.
And has that always been resolved favorably?
Yes, I've never had them not resolve it favorably. And I think for a while, everything that I got there was a lot of stuff I got for a long time that wasn't stolen. I'm 99% sure it was not stolen, and it was just never delivered. And it was always through this fucking company called LaserShip.
Huh.
They started using this random third-party vendor for a long time, and no package I've ever had from that company actually made it.
I've had that with DHL. Anytime anything goes through DHL, I never get it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things where they started resolving those favorably, probably because they were getting so many complaints that they realized there was a problem with the shipping company and not the customers. But yes, I've always been able to get them handled favorably.
Many years ago, I ordered a poker table online. It was like a $1,500 poker table, really nice poker table. And when it arrived, I don't remember what company. It was like a freight shipping company. And they came out here in an 18-wheeler, and they realized they couldn't get into my driveway in an 18-wheeler. So they took it somewhere else, and then it got put into a van and brought out here in the van. And when it arrived, it was beat the fuck up. Like the box was open in so many places. You could see it all. And he was like, either you got to sign to take this or we're taking it back. But I was like, this is a mess. I'm like, I mean, I don't know what to do with this. And he put a bunch of notes on the thing saying, it was definitely damaged or whatever, and that I could contact them and see what to do or whatever. But they, they were going to give me a refund for it because they were just the shipping company. So I accepted it. And I got it in the house and everything. And I started kind of trying to put it together. And then I realized this thing was beat up. Just it wasn't worth my money. Like they really screwed it up in the shipping. And so I contacted the company and they gave me a big hem and haw about they weren't going to come back out here. I was gonna have to find a way to ship it and all this. So I did a chargeback on my credit card for it. And I basically kept contacting them you need to get this thing from me. Like I have this poker table. I don't know what to do with it. I put it back in the box. There's wood parts that are broken on it, on the the bottom legs for it or whatever. And eventually they just stopped responding. And so
did you get your charge back?
Yeah. The chargeback was resolved. I got my money back. So eventually I put the damn poker table together and I glued the wood part that was messed up, and I still have this $1,500 poker table.
And they're going to see this video, and you're going to notice tomorrow that return.
I mean, it's been a long ass time at this point, and like I tried everything. I wasn't trying to like screw them over, and I just could not get them to get the poker table back from me.
My wife ordered a TV once, like a 42-inch, LCD, not smart TV or anything like that. This was a couple years ago. I think we bought it for $500, and that was a good deal at the time. It was before the prices really like plummeted on those things. And about 3 weeks later, it just never came. And we kept contacting the company and saying, hey, this hasn't come yet. And it wasn't marked as delivered. Like, just says marked that it was still, like, in process of being delivered. And after so long, the company ended up just, like, refunding our money and said, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's FedEx or USPS or however they shipped it through. It must be USPS. They can't track the package anymore. It's just gone. Like, it was in this one location, and then it wasn't there anymore. So whether it got stolen or went on the wrong truck and didn't get scanned right, nobody has any real idea where it went. But weeks later, they, refunded the money. So we ended up buying a different TV. 6 months later, USPS calls us to say that they have found a damaged package of ours, and if we wanted to come pick it up.
Wow.
So we go to the distribution center, literally this 42-inch Vizio TV, LCD TV box comes out of the back, just marked all of the holes in the box, stamped with damaged all over the place. Like, basically, the box is like halfway ripped. We take it. We've got a refund for it. What are we going to do with it? Well, let's go get it and see what it is. Pull the thing out of the box. TV itself is perfectly fine. She puts it up on Craigslist and sells it for $275 within the day.
Wow.
So we had this refund because 6 months ago, this package got lost. We didn't know what we were supposed to do with it.
Right.
Should we call the company and be like, hey, that TV now is here in a big bit damaged box? Like, do you want it back?
Right.
Like, I don't know if we were supposed to do that or what, but she was just
I think that's fine what you did. that's pretty crazy.
We don't have much food left.
I'm in the bed. There's a bunch of fish in one of them, though.
That's shitty fish, though. But
what's shitty about it?
It only does like one haunch or something.
Does 2.5.
The cod?
Yeah.
But the other stuff does like 4, doesn't it?
Steak does, I think.
Oh, no, the other fish. I think the other type of fish does more than
does salmon do more?
I think so. Yeah, I think the cod is like the worst.
Oh, so in this last UHC, because of the whole nighttime or the thunderstorm shit that happened?
Don't ruin anything yet. I don't know what day we're on.
I'm talking about day one. Day one thunderstorm.
Okay.
Like we were just surrounded by skeletons and all that garbage because of the very the start of the thing is thunderstorm. So we didn't have any food, and so I ended up jumping in the damn water and killing salmon with my hands to feed us.
Really?
Yeah, because you can see it swimming around.
I forgot that we were playing in the new mechanic. We didn't even think about like anything in the water for that. I don't think we, if I recall correctly, because it's day one obviously has been played by now, and I don't remember. We didn't have an issue with food, is what I remember on my team. So I think we had spawned in a place that we got some food pretty quick off the bat and weren't too concerned with it. Because that's always one of my biggest concerns starting at UHC is food. Because if you don't have food, like it's over. It's over. it's over pretty quick. And I did rewatch the footage back that I was talking about at some point. Oh no, did we already talk about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Probably did ruin some stuff. Talking about last time about how the regen piece.
Oh yeah, you did talk about that last time. That was probably spoilery.
I just thought about that. Again, it wouldn't be a spoiler for too much, but it was a spoiler for a little bit of a time. But I did watch it back, and I was accurate. I didn't do anything wrong. I hadn't eaten, luckily, so the damage that I took when I was in there didn't heal until later when I ate, and then it all healed up at once, and I was like, what the hell? So, because I was kind of worried for a second when I was talking to you about it. I was like, yeah, did I actually die and not think about the fact that I should have been dead because I was regenning the whole time?
That's what I was most concerned about, was that I was worried you guys were going to like work it out once you left the nether, and I was like, but by then you may have already been dead if you don't like deal with this issue immediately.
No, I think I was making a comment, and you'll see this might be spoilers, but this is like nothing it doesn't really spoil anything. I was making comments that when we were playing that I would, if I that I had 2.5 hearts to go. If I took 2.5 hearts of damage, I would have to kill myself before I had a chance to true up my.
And again, I didn't
situation.
realize that your other teammates had never taken damage either. I was thinking
Yeah,
you all
no, it was
need to be
just-
taking
it was
damage.
just-
Just like nothing's happening. What's going on?
I always want to watch your view now and have you just be sitting there probably pissed off, yelling at your screen, going, "Come on!" Just sweaty, hitting tab the whole time. Like, why aren't they taking damage?
It's just one of those
Damn it.
things where, like, I don't know, like, since I set it all up, I feel responsible too. So it's like, there's a problem in the UHC and it needs to be fixed. I don't know.
It would have been funnier if I just never said anything and just had the 10 hearts the whole time. It was just like, do.
Oh, the fucking commenters would have said some shit. They'd been
Oh,
all
that
emo
would
as
have been
hell.
great, though. I'd take
We'd have
that.
to call BTC and tell them to shut the fuck up. And,
I'd be like, hey, I wasn't hiding in a hole.
what the fuck
That was
is
him
that
that used to
sound?
do that, right? Where are you at?
Oh, it's a witch. But she wasn't laughing. She was going, "Meh," and like it sounded like a goat and a llama like had combined or something. I was so confused.
It's the new animals.
Yeah, it was
The lote.
the
The glama. It's the glama.
Llama. I like.
Oh,
that.
I looked at our statistics. Granted, they're very slow to respond, but we have a positive. I'm gonna look at them right now. Quite positive. Connect, is that what it is? Podcast stuff.
Oh,
Like it's been seen by listened to on many devices and
oh, good. All the
Yeah, I was
devices.
all the devices. And like the average person listened to the full episode.
Oh.
That was kind of interesting. Where is? It seems to be really behind those. Excuse me, it only shows stats for like one podcast or one episode.
Delayed.
Devices 11. Total time listened 10 hours. Time per device 57 minutes.
11 devices. How many fucking podcast listening devices are there?
I think it means that there's 11 different people have listened to it. But I think that means,
That's not
which
very many.
isn't meant, but the 11 people who have listened to it have listened to both of the episodes.
Well, if
Like
only
fully.
11 people listen to 2 episodes, that does not make 10 hours.
It does, because they
Oh,
were
yes, it
each
does.
about 30
yeah,
minutes.
about 30 minutes. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, yeah, that adds up.
I mean, granted, there might not be that many people listening to it, but the people who do listen to the full, which is kind of cool to know. Maybe
Nerds.
next week we'll be at 12 people.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
to
assuming
be
that
fair,
that's what
like,
number of
there's not,
devices
they're not
means.
missing out on much gameplay wise by listening.
No, they're definitely not missing out on much gameplay wise. That's why it really is the podcast. I bet you some of those people were the Survivor producers. I'm sure at least 8 of those 11 people.
8 of the 11.
Yes.
Our biggest fans watch, and they just laugh at us. Those fucking idiots.
They're like,
aren't
these
ever
guys will
getting on."
never get on. Guys suck. I do wonder if I'm on some like banned list and not allowed to be on Survivor.
We should do the Amazing Race together.
We could. I don't even know how you. Does that show still on?
I don't know if that show is still on either.
I mean, Amazing Race would be cool just because you get to travel.
Yeah.
Like, hell, that's fun. Travel, see the world on somebody else's dime and do all this random stupid shit, like fun stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Amazing Race would
And
be
some of
real
it
fun.
looks like terrible stupid shit, actually. But it's
How would you do with
Some
the
of it.
eating side of Survivor if they did the eating competition? Is that something you would have no problem with?
so, it's funny. I used to not think that I would have a problem with something like that. And maybe it's small things I think I can take okay, except for that dog food really, really, really got to me that last year that we did that. But even the Spam was super hard. And it's not even that the Spam tasted bad. It was so salty and heavy. Like I ate the first couple pieces without an issue with the Spam. And then my body didn't want me to eat it anymore. So it was just like no. And so I don't know how I would do with that stuff anymore. I think with the bugs, I might be able to do okay. But even you making those tacos, and I don't know, maybe bugs are better than some of those combinations that were so terrible.
Yeah.
That I mean, but the one I had that had like the ants on it or whatever, that was like, this is
right. Honestly, the ant stuff was easier than like, yeah.
So so I'm not sure. I think the pepper ones would be. Do they do that in a Survivor?
No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do hot stuff.
Well, no, there was maybe it was a different show where there was a plate of peppers and you had to like try to choose one to eat, or you could say you're done and you get like a strike on your for your team or whatever and not choose one, but you could choose one and there were some peppers that were super spicy and some that weren't spicy, so you were trying to hope that you knew all these different like peppers.
I don't think that was Survivor, but I could be wrong. I maybe just forgot this thing.
I don't think it was Survivor either. Now that I think about it, but so
that sounds like that damn redneck outcast show you watched.
That could have been. They had a crazy eating contest on the first season of that one though, where you basically there was this menu of stuff on the wall, and you basically challenged. You said, "I will eat this item from the wall." And some of them were like olives. Then spicy mustard. Like there were some things that were like tolerable to most people, but some people might not have liked them. And then there was other things that were this super spicy, hottest stuff that you've ever had in your entire life. And then we covered in anchovies or whatever. But you basically chose and said, "I will eat one of these." And the next person that you were up against said, "I will eat one of these." And you keep adding to your menu until one person says, "Fine, eat it, prove it." And if you can eat it and prove it, you win, and the other guy loses. But if you can't, like, you lose. So it's basically it's a game of cat and mouse on what do I think this other person can actually eat. And this one guy, man, there was some people that couldn't eat 2 items, and they got challenged right after the second item, and the person was like, "Yeah, eat it." And they failed miserably because it was such a bad item. Then there was some guy who just literally like and maybe you built the menu together. So like you both had to eat the same thing whenever you challenged the other person to eat it. It was the same like menu. One guy ate, it was probably 15 different things, including like drinking basically a bottle of like the spiciest mustard that existed.
Oh god, you had to drink the whole bottle.
It was a big chunk of it. It was like in a different dish, but it was a lot of it. And he ate it all. His stomach's like a steel trap. And he actually said that he can deal with any type of food. The problem that he had was there was so much of it, he was full. And there was a time limit on it.
Right.
But he got so full, whereas other people could eat things. But that was a really interesting eating contest.
That's the problem I had when I did the taco thing here by myself. By the end, I just couldn't. It wasn't that I couldn't handle the ingredients. I didn't have room in my stomach for them anymore. Like, it's just like I can't eat anymore. I'm just so damn full.
Yeah, I don't know, though. Some of those Survivor challenges I've seen when you eat like what is it called, Baloo? Like the half-hatched chicken or the half-fertilized chicken or whatever.
Yeah, that's like
a delicacy and stuff.
Yeah, that one does look rough.
I don't know how I would handle something like that. A lot of it is mind over matter, but a lot also probably a pretty fucking awful taste.
Yeah,
so.
I'm in, by the way. The one that they had this last season that looked hard to me was the sea cucumber. That looked rough. I think she just swallowed it whole. It might have been the season before last, actually. Yeah, I think it was.
No, it's probably a smart thing to swallow it whole. It
was so big. I don't know how she did it though, but yeah, just
well.
What did you think of Christian last season?
So my wife and I both thought that he was a plant, a casted character that was going to be out the first couple episodes because that was like the design that they had for him. He seemed so ridiculously scripted and off the wall that we still think he was a casted character, but maybe it wasn't as scripted as we thought, because I'll tell you, for a guy like that, he claims to be so socially awkward, he very easily made social bonds.
Whenever you're watching a lot of those social bonds, though, I think he thought he was more. I think that some of the guys kind of felt sorry for him, almost like that one guy, the wrestler guy, where he kept saying he wanted to be the comptroller or whatever. I think that guy was just like playing along with the guy because he didn't want to be like, You no.
Oh, I think at the beginning they might have been like definitely playing along with him. And that's part of the reason why we thought it was so scripted, that he was just there for. Because I still think that there's scripted people on there that are there to just show that everybody can be on Survivor.
I don't.
And that they early on get voted off because that's part of the.
So you think that people are told they have to vote for somebody?
I don't know. Remember, we both read the story about that one group of people who apparently snuck out of the Survivor and broke into like the crew camp or whatever.
Right.
And they had to get voted off one by one. And you didn't find out about that until years later, when they could have easily just disqualified them and made the game very clear. These people broke the rules. They are now out of the game. And showed America that this is real. Instead, you had 3 episodes of them getting voted off that are completely fake.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree that is one occasion where, I mean, the wool was over the eyes. But I don't believe that that's something that's part of the show.
I mean, I hope it's not. But we do know that the people are scripted and typecasted. And I know for a fact, and I hope that it doesn't go as far as to actually affecting what happens in the show. But there's definitely been people on there that straight up said that they were, basically put in there by a casting company. One guy who won season 17 or some shit like that. I don't remember which season it was. But he said he had never seen a thing of Survivor in his life. When his casting agent called him to go, he was like, yeah, I guess I can. I don't know anything about the show though.
Right. I mean, I think that's different. Like that's why I've said that I don't think like people like you and I don't have a chance, because we don't have a damn agent that's working on our behalf. Like, I feel like that's a lot of who goes out there are people with agents working on their behalf, honestly.
I agree. Oh, it's so funny because how many agents are there in bumfuck Iowa or wherever? All these contestants, their contestants aren't all from big cities. There's chunks of them that are from big cities, and then there's people from these podunk towns somewhere. And do you really think they have? Maybe they're not from those towns, but do you think there really is a casting agent in town?
I mean, there probably is casting agencies everywhere, right? I mean, shit, they record shitty television shows all over the nation.
I guess that's true. Man, I am almost out of this pick again. I don't want to break it.
Please don't.
They could. Yeah, I don't know. And I hope that I'm wrong. But I don't know. Some things, when you've already proven that you have pulled the wool over the eyes of the watching public because 3 people broke the rules or whatever, and they had to get eliminated, instead of eliminating them for that reason, and you had 3 fake episodes basically to get them eliminated back to back to back.
I still like to believe there was a long meeting that took place where they basically tried to do the best
meeting.
I mean, yeah, you got Jeff and all the producers and everyone in one of these fucking vans or trailers or whatever, and they're just mortified. What the fuck do we do now? They've ruined this season. What are we how are we going to make good television still while this has been really fucked up by these fucking idiots here? That sort of thing.
And you don't think you can do that by being straight up and
disqualify 3 people, right? So you do that. You disqualify 3 people. Now what? We got 3 episodes of no tribal councils?
Or you just continue on with the game and you can make
less episodes?
Longer or less episodes.
That doesn't work well for advertisers.
Well, then you can do something to extend it, because there's so much.
And there's probably
miss,
contracts about the number of episodes and stuff too.
You can do specials that are behind the scenes episodes of things that weren't shown, and show a lot more of what actually happened.
I mean, maybe it's possible, but we don't know what the requirements are from CBS and stuff. They may have a requirement there has to be a tribal council every episode, something like that. We don't know.
Absolutely. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I just have this bad feeling. There is.
I mean, if that's the case, the show is pointless.
Planting. Yeah, true. And that's kind of another reason I like there, because I want to know how real is this thing really. And I'm sure it's real to an extent. And we've read other things back when we were Survivor, our podcast or recap show, that we see that they talked about in post editing that they actually cut this one challenge down from 5 rounds to best of 5 to best of 3, even though they did best of 5, but they made sure they did it just for the viewing audience. It didn't change the outcome of anything.
Right.
that they just showed it and pretended the whole time it was a best of 3 when really on the island it was a best of 5, and for whatever reason they just decided they wanted to show it as best of 3 instead.
Right. I mean, in those cases, it doesn't affect the show really. Like,
right. So, well, and so when I read things like that, it makes me feel a little bit better about the fact that okay, maybe it's not scripted, stuff. But at the same time, I don't know.
I feel like if it was scripted, you would have had at least one person just fucking blow the whistle by now.
Oh, I don't think the whole thing is scripted by any means. I think the winner stuff is real. I think there are characters on there too. So for example, one episode a long time ago, early season, that there was a person who I think they brought 20 of them out instead of 18, and they said, you're picking teams, and basically they pick teams with each other, and the 2 people who aren't chosen, you go home right now. You don't even play the game. And there was one lady who just constantly sang everything, and she was the most annoying person in the world, and you knew that she wasn't getting picked. But there was her and this other kid who didn't get picked, and they just got on the boat and left, and you didn't even know who they were.
Yeah, I remember that. And
I don't believe that they would ever spend the time and money to drag people out to this other country and they're going to be on Survivor and then just have them kicked off from the start.
I think they would, but maybe
not. I don't really.
I mean, I think it's a cool. Well, it's
kicked
not
off before you even get to do anything.
You should have been cooler on the boat. You should have been singing all your damn shit.
I guess you should have been cooler on the boat. It doesn't even make me like. It was not something as a viewer that actually kind of just upset me as a viewer. Going, what? Like, really?
Yeah,
you just got rid of some people.
But I do remember thinking, like, well, that kind of sucks. Like, damn, how bad would that be? You fucking finally you got on Survivor, and now you're off.
Yeah, you talk about being the first people voted out, and how you never want to be the shit. You never want to be the person who didn't even get to get voted out. You've never been hurt.
Right.
That's fucked up. Like, and I believe that there was some reason that was done, either as a plant of actors that were there for something, or who knows, maybe those people did something that was against the rules on the boat.
But didn't they do a schoolyard pick?
They did.
Yeah.
But maybe it wasn't really
saying,
a schoolyard pick.
No. I think it was. I think they just really fucked those 2 people real hard. But I don't know. I decide to believe it all. I'm an all or nothing kind of guy with this, and I'm gonna believe it all. I believe it all.
Well, I hope you're right. I just skepticism.
All right. Well, with that, we're done, everybody. Believe it all. UHC's never been scripted.
Believe in yourself. Believe in everything.
What would you do if there was suddenly like UHC deniers? Like, there's no way in the first season of, or the third season of UHC, the first PvP season of UHC, where Kurt's coming up that that staircase, and they have no idea what's going on, and then immediately there's a cliffhanger. It's impossible.
Wait, the audience found our script? I mean, what?
I mean, there have been several things that happened.
There probably is UHC deniers.
Should there probably be scripted UHCs, honestly?
Oh, they sure. Not from our group, but there's scripted UHCs. I guarantee there's scripted UHCs. People do anything for content nowadays.
God. How hard would that be, though?
To script a UHC?
I mean, it wouldn't be. I mean, we did it for the April Fool's one. I mean, I didn't do it, but the people I was playing with. And the funny thing about that was, we didn't know. Me and Breon played that whole UHC thinking that other people were playing the damn game, and they never were. But
that is kind of funny. That is really funny, actually.
It's like a double blind troll or something like that. Like I was doing April Fools, and I was getting April Fooled at the same damn time.
That is good.
Anyways,
that is good.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.